Today, I will be discussing the topic of marine plastic pollution in the Asia-Pacific region. Plastics were first introduced into the mainstream in the 1950s and became popular due to their convenience and low cost. Plastic production is a multi-billion-dollar industry dominated by chemical and fossil fuel companies. Because plastic is derived from fossil hydrocarbons, no commonly used plastic is biodegradable. Rather than decomposing, plastic will simply break down and accumulate in landfills or in the natural environment. The only way to permanently eliminate plastic waste is through combustion. However, that causes the release of toxins into the atmosphere, causing severe health risks. Marine plastic pollution is an alarming problem affecting many countries, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region, and generated mostly from land-based sources. 5 Asian countries, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, and China, have been identified as the largest sources of marine plastic pollution, contributing to more than half of global marine plastic pollution. Many of these countries struggle with poor waste disposal, while a growth in population and demand for consumer products means more single-use plastic ends up in landfills or leaks into the environment. Plastics in the marine environment are of increasing concern because of their damaging effects on the ocean, wildlife, and ultimately humans. Many plastics break down into small pieces called microplastics, which are then ingested by marine organisms. Additionally, plastic waste can get snagged on coral reefs, promoting microbial growth that cause disease among coral. One study assessed the influence of plastic waste on disease risk in 124,000 reef-building corals from 159 reefs in the Asia-Pacific region, and they have found that the likelihood of disease increases from 4% to 89% when corals are in contact with plastic. Considering the lack of waste management and high coastal population, they predict that an estimated 15.7 billion plastic items will be entangled on coral reefs across the Asia-Pacific by 2025. Since 1950, 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic waste has been produced, while 6.3 billion metric tons has become plastic waste. Of that, only 9% has been recycled. The vast majority of waste, up to 79%, is accumulated in landfills or in the natural environment as litter. Until recently, China was the world's largest importer of plastic waste, importing 7.3 million tons from developed countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States, and Japan. It has been estimated that nearly half of the planet's plastic waste has been sent to China in the past 2 decades. In January 2018, China imposed an import waste ban, leading to a 99% drop in plastic imports. This led to an increase of imports to neighboring Southeast Asian countries, such as Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and India. Their governments are taking steps to permanently ban non-recyclable plastics and allow imports of only high-valued recycled plastic. By 2050, the ocean could have more plastic than fish. Part of this reason is that plastic use has increased 20-fold in the last 50 years, reaching 380 million tons per year in 2015. Cumulatively, the world has produced an estimated 9 billion tons of plastic, with about 8 million tons being dumped into the ocean every year. This is mostly from plastic packaging and single-use plastics. For example, a plastic bag has an average working life of 15 minutes, but can remain in the ocean for over 20 years. Other plastics need hundreds of years to fully decompose. Because of this, many marine organisms are consuming plastics, mistaking it for food. In China, 76% of waste was mismanaged, meaning it was either just dropped as litter or disposed of in dumps that were not well contained and allowed the plastic to escape. All mismanaged plastic ended up depositing between 1.3 and 3.5 million metric tons of debris in the ocean each year, almost a third of annual marine plastic pollution. Plastic waste is now so common in the environment that it can be suggested as a geological indicator of the proposed Anthropocene era, which represents the current geologic time period during which human activity has been the dominant influence on climate and the environment. There is not a top-down solution to tackling plastic pollution, but instead requires a variety of creative solutions. Some of these solutions include reducing the use of single-use plastic items while eliminating microplastics, making plastics responsible by design like long-lasting, reusable, and incorporating recycled content. Also, ensuring responsible plastic management by empowering producers, retailers, and municipalities to achieve maximum collection and recycling while avoid leakage into the environment. For any waste that happens to leak into the environment, I suggest options such as trash skimmers, river cleaning workboats, and nets attached to drainage pipes to collect debris. The Ocean Cleanup Project is the largest effort to date, aiming to clean up 90% of ocean plastic pollution by using a passive cleanup method, which uses the natural oceanic forces to clean up plastic already in the oceans. They also developed the first scalable solution to intercept plastic in rivers before it reaches the ocean. In conclusion, this presentation discussed marine plastic pollution in the Asia-Pacific region because it is just as detrimental to ecosystems and countless plant and animal species as climate change itself. Thank you for your time.